Welcome back to my Empires Season 2 recap. Week 17. What has happened this week? Let's find out. Seeing the mango sprout and putting it in her secret bunker, Catherine wants to be able to collect all monster heads, crafting a best substitute of a battle sword to be able to do so. Going towards the Nether, dying by a swarm of pigmen, then in the end being able to acquire just a blazing magma cube head out of the many monsters she had slain. Wanting more loot, she wants to travel to Sausage's raid farm, where by meeting him is able to go to and acquire lots of loot, wanting a witch head. This happening causes her to acquire Hero of the Village award. However, there are some heads that can only be acquired by a trident, which is something only the man who is obsessed with her has, Pirate Joe. At first, he hadn't recognised her in a new outfit, her telling him her secret of that she dresses like this at night and is a monster slayer. Despite this, he's offended that she hasn't noticed his new outfit. Fortunately, she's able to get the skeleton, zombie and creeper head she so desires. But there would need to be a place to put these heads, which would be in the form of a museum that looks like a haunted house. Her current favourite head would be the Vex. Collecting dyes and sticks, Scott proceeds to make his banner with chromia colours in a patchwork style, putting these around places on parts of the bridge, but sees Joey's parrot overshadowing in colour and size, declaring as pirate enemy, showing up something else, while also by the bridge sees a crystal opening, but any investigation is over his paycheck. Returning back home, Scott proceeds to build parkour platforms for easy access to his enchanting table, or after setting Ollie free from a hole, would play him a song for him for free, which is an experience to say the least. Jem is on a mission to keep Dawn safe, going to the Nether for Princess's first adventure to collect Blackstone for a castle, but she dies not shortly after in a Nether fortress. Fortunately, Sausage is able to come to the rescue and to become her bodyguard. Having gone to Blackstone, she would also need normal stone acquired by trade with Whip and mining a secret tunnel under the castle which may or may not be used. Before building the castle, she goes on a ride on Apollo to get ideas, where she encounters Ollie doing a performance with her horned whip, which doesn't please her, being able to finally get it back at last. Proceeding to build the pillars of the entrance and adding character by placing wood on it. This will most likely be the most mega build in Dawn, as she doesn't really want any mega build in Dawn, as she's more focused in on a story. To the gateway, she'll need a gate on it, which would be a very big gate indeed. Despite having no research on gates, her gate doesn't look too bad, especially with shaders on. Sausage had ready resumes of many people who wanted to work in the town hall. Those who were hired would include Chile the librarian, record keepers Miguel and Rachel, and Rebecca the secretary of business. This would also include more Empire Sonars being recorded. While leaving, he had encountered Ollie, who wanted assistance for the biggest festival ever and once spread it around the server for only 5 diamonds entry. This would include being able to touch the egg, live performances, dancing on poles, and many more activities. All Sausage will need to do is tell the server about it, which he loves. Also would be a week from now. First person he tells will be Pirate Joe, then leaving a sign at Shelby's, immediately wanting to leave. Helping Catherine with the raid farm, he spots a red sheep again who didn't die by a creeper explosion. Must be strong and definitely nothing evil going on. Despite also having helped Jem, this makes him feel like a hero, wanting to make this a full-time hustle for people to hire him for service. Clearing out area and terraforming, he proceeds to build a hero for hire shop, which inside has a lecture book describing all we need to know with a horn in front of it for them to below for a hero to be dispatched from the secret hero hiding spot above. He wouldn't need payment, but donations would be accepted. More advertising needs to be done, so he promotes it by his sword on the bridge. But he's proceeded to get shot, seeing the crystal cave entrance. A sound comes from it, but what is it? Not long is it that he finds himself drowning in the dark by the portal. What was that? Better off to go home. With Joey, things aren't adding up. 1 stack of diamond for paper, yet it doesn't equate to that. Someone is stealing from a pirate and he will snatch their wig. After being interrupted by Catherine, then warning Sausage about the paper thief and selfish filling storage area, collects resources for houses to fill out the Glimmer Grove, which is exactly what he does, building 3 new houses and a bridge to the library being built as well. Seeing the wallpaper, Jimmy wonders how long this took, wondering how long this would take to remove and how how to retaliate against Joel. Yet, this doesn't mean Tumbletown is in Andy's bedroom though, as next time Jimmy sees Joel, there will be violence. Going to Gobland for the deputy badge only acquires a pufferfish. Is this breaking the fourth wall? It's not named anything either. Moving on, the saloon has been decorated with a jukebox and a custom piano, its song being top of the Empire chart. While this had been happening, he was able to capture a bandit who was immediately arrested for trespassing, being put in the jail. Hearing about the thing by the bridge, the cave had expanded larger than it was when last seen, covered in leaves, unprecedented and freaky. Seeing the sign about the festival, his 21 diamonds could make him the richest man there, but needs to think of a talent. Fox was able to build a building for a wheat farm, which inside would also include a carrot and melon farm. Copper is a pain to get, yet so is a honeycomb to wax it. This area is made so she would be able to produce food for her future hypothetical town. Before being able to build houses for the town, Sausage comes telling her about the festival, how all she needs is to bring bushes, giving her an idea for an iron food shop. Sausage, having fallen into the cage, she decides to check on the pumpkin, only to find out that its unmeltable packed ice has melted. Is she being framed for Jack's death? So attempts to resuscitate him and gives him a job as a scarecrow. Building buildings and pathways for a town, nothing is fully complete. One building being attached to a tower, another needing a water wheel, and one needing flooring. Foliage is added, rain as well, makes her want to live there, but not yet at least, as she needs a nap right now as she has worn herself out. Joel's village below has been neglected for some time, and the villagers wouldn't build their own houses as they are lazy. Before building, he notices the festival sign. Hopefully he has enough diamonds, considering he had given them all to Jimmy in a lawsuit. Collecting resources to do so, Joel builds a wall to protect his villagers, not too close to Scott though. While bathing in his fountain, a voice is heard. It's Ollie, complimenting how he's saying how he's tall and handsome, but he aren't on the same level as Ollie is small and weak. More buildings are added inside the walls, like a bank for taxes, a stable, market, stalls, and a town hall. This village is turning more into like a city. While all this had been happening, Whip had came by, seeing the chicken farm, with Joel just saying how he just eats a lot of cake. No nefarious purposes here. Wonder how Goblin got that many chickens though, as whoever did it will be welcome to not a pleasant surprise. Seeing the sign about the festival for Scott is stressful, as the tavern can't handle it, especially with the bad reviews it keeps getting about the bartender, which gives him the idea. What if he turned Owen into a human? He proceeds to go to Shelby to go to help, showing her around and doing a splash potion. Initially it doesn't work, so she just goes to sleep in the tavern for the night. Going to sleep himself and waking up, he encounters a random man in front of him, who is Owen, showing him around, helping to open doors, teaching he can't eat wheat anymore, not spitting on others either, teaches the new man manners as its kind. This would also be when Owen realizes he is a human. The man isn't drowning, it's you. Proceeded by teaching him how to run a bar, where it isn't too great either. Neither is his discovery of having hands, not hooves. For one moment, Scott needs to go to Tumbletown to place his banner there, telling Owen to stay. Unfortunately, it isn't something he abides by, going with him, and Scott just can't leave him in the Nether, so takes on the rest of the journey, to the confusion of the sheriff. Even leading with Sugar, he still gets distracted by a cat and a lack of orange banners. Going on to how Scott, being the biggest llama, making all the rules, wants discussion on for democracy. Scott needs to go back to Shelby to reverse this. Telling her all about the situation, she's confused why he'd want to reverse a miracle of magic and science. But he's annoying, so just go ahead. So, by bribing with a drink that'll make him stronger and smarter, making him feel good, eventually turns him back into a normal llama, after him wanting to eat magic emeralds and hanging out in a llama garden. Hearing his own thoughts again, he realizes to not mess with magic. Trouble first finds herself in a nightmare. Zombie versions of Empire members everywhere. Sausage banging on the door, Scott inside, Joey in the storage area, and Lizzie in a bedroom. Waking up in relief of it just being a nightmare. However, Armor stands outside her base. Or not. Fortunately, Sausage isn't a zombie anymore, and it isn't mad at her. Potentially, his hero shot can trap ghosts. Weird stuff has been happening. She's feeling it, and it's going to be more than a ghost problem, with things still going on in the rift and never returning. Signs have returned once more, with it saying, "Still watching. We know what you did," in a stuttered tone. Watching from where? Who knows? But she denies everything. Catherine comes out about the mangrove sapling she was given to say thank you, giving Shelby back a tulip, which she puts by her bed, knowing Catherine doesn't want to marry Joe. Knowing names of her llamas, Cliff and Richard, she removes her potion tent with a more permanent cart, pulled to the festival next to Catherine's. Gary's still not being coming back fears Lizzie as she's running out of chicken. The frogs has multiplied a lot since we last saw them, meaning they need a place for them to live, where the resources to build them can be hard to find, especially with the corruption in the attic. Building the area, she leaves the space for a large pond, decorated with sea pickles and glowberries, with mini puddles in the pathways as well, be more frog-like. First frog is named War, where his and other frog houses are decorated. But what are their names? Acquiring name tags through trade with Stratos villagers, she names the other frogs Tommy, Cricket, Tiana and Naveen, Birdie, Poison, Mossy, Kermit, and finally Snottilius Snottle Snotsalot the third. Truly an icon. For more snot particles, she goes in search for a lost cave for the rare spore blossom, which should be decorated around the frogland, same with drip leaves. Being militarily efficient, she expands the river defense around the frog commune, as who knows what unknown threat there could be out there. Thank you for watching my Empires Season 2 recap. Make sure to like and subscribe with the bell so you don't miss an upload. Maybe even leave a comment as well. Goodbye.